The Hogwarts Show, Mardi Gras concerts, the Rumor Mill, and more on episode 283 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. I am Darren, and joining me we have Tracy.
Hello everybody.
And we have Lee.
Hello Ron.
And we have Chris.
Hey guys.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
It's all right. How was it with you?
Good. No, doing pretty good. It's nice to get back to like a news show in the new year, right? This is like the first one.
Yeah.
That I've been on anyway.
Yeah.
That all four of us are on, and
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
it's our first proper news show with Chris as an official host.
Yay!
We all got to sit and not talk much with Jim Hill last week, as usual.
yeah, yeah. Oh
was
yeah,
good, though.
we did record, didn't we? I thought I was just listening to a podcast. But yeah, no, it's always great to have Jim on, and that was a lot of fun. So, despite some technical issues, I think it came out pretty nicely.
It did, yeah. It took me some some
Yeah.
editing, but luckily it was in chunks, so it wasn't that difficult. But anyway, people don't need to know that.
Well, no, everybody should know that you did some great hard work there for him. So,
I appreciate that, Darren. Thank you very much.
all right, well, let's just get back into the normal for normal's sake, right? With some Producers Club birthdays with Tracy.
Right. Well, first of all, we have a belated birthday. This is for the lovely Susie Scott, and her birthday is 15th of January, which is today as we're recording.
Yes.
So
Happy birthday!
happy birthday, Susie!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
And on the 21st of January, it is Michelle Fletcher's birthday.
Our lovely
happy birthday,
sponsor.
Michelle.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Michelle.
Happy birthday, Michelle. On the 27th of January, we have birthday twins.
We do.
We do. We have Spencer Salt and Julie Klein. So happy birthday, Spencer. Happy birthday, Julie.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
You couldn't get two people who live further apart than Spencer and Julie does, because Julie lives in Scotland, Spencer lives in New Zealand.
So they're not getting together to share a birthday cake then.
He's originally from over here, but he now lives over there.
Wise. Well, I hope everybody has a lovely birthday
Indeed.
and send us some cake.
Yes.
Yes.
Although maybe not. I've had enough cake.
As per your Producers Club agreement, you must send us a piece of
Yes.
cake.
Small print, people.
Yes.
Always read
From your
it.
country, yes. All right, cool. Well, I just want to get into some other really positive news because Lee gave me this news item, and I just want to share it because I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So to prove once again that Universal are a great company to work for, they have announced that each and every team member at Universal Orlando and Universal Studios Hollywood should receive a $1,000 bonus in appreciation of all the hard work that they've done in the past year.
Wow.
I just noticed the word should.
Yes, that's what it said in the article that I read, and I've already seen a few team members that we know that have received those checks.
Okay.
me.
Awesome. Well, it says here, to be more specific, all Comcast, NBC Universal, and Spectacor employees who met the following criteria will receive the bonus. They had to have been an employee as of December 31st, 2017. Staff, U.S. full-time or part-time employees. Non-staff employees who have 1,560 hours paid with NBC Universal during the 2017 year. And Universal Studios Hollywood employees defined as like hourly or variable scheduled are non-staff. So even the people that are just there for Halloween Horror Nights and that kind of thing as well. Vice president level or above are excluded. So I'm sure they got their own kind of bonuses though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. $1,001.
Universal Parks and Resorts Chairman and CEO Tom Williams posted this statement on the UO team website. Dear fellow team members, I don't know how he talks, not like that.
Should do it like
Brian
no.
Roberts.
I was going to say
Brian
you should do it
Roberts.
like Donald Trump, but no.
No, thanks.
No.
Chairman and CEO of Comcast. Yeah, I have to wash my mouth out afterwards. Recently announced awarding special $1,000 bonuses to eligible frontline and non-executive employees. Universal Parks and Resorts is honored to be a part of the Comcast NBC Universal family, an organization that believes in the promise and potential of our team members. Whether you work in Orlando, Hollywood, Osaka, or on the planning team for Beijing, Oh, I didn't see Dubai listed there. You bring to life compelling entertainment and immersive experiences for our guests like no one else in the world. Our exciting growth demonstrates Comcast's continued investment in our parks and resorts. You can be proud not only for our company, but that you are truly part of something bigger. Just as I am proud to share this special bonus with you as we start our new year. Thank you for everything you do to keep your guests entertained and for making Universal Parks and Resorts the choice of millions nationwide. Tom Williams, Chairman and CEO. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is a phenomenal amount of money when you consider how many team members.
They are like the richest company in the world, right?
Is that not Disney?
Oh, true. Well, close to it then.
Yeah, but it's
I don't know,
still.
Comcast is knocking on their
Generous.
door, probably.
Mm-hmm.
What, dear?
I've got my hand up.
I know.
Can I just point out I'm a TM?
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, Tracy Malaby.
Yeah, I'm a TM.
That's not the same.
That's not fair.
Oh.
Didn't even get
Too
a
long?
pity laugh.
Story of my life.
We need the drum and snare.
He's got it.
Always late.
It had to be late.
Always late.
So I mean, this is pretty awesome stuff because it tells you the company is doing really well, right? If they're giving their employees $1,000 bonus, and doesn't even tell you about their raises, right? Raises are one thing, bonuses are another. So this is a little extra money on top. It's nice.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I can't remember the last time my company gave me a bonus.
Yeah, me either.
It's been a very long time.
Yeah, I completely agree. But like you say, they are one of the biggest companies in the world, and they should do, but they don't have to at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And how many
Very
team
true.
members do you think they've paid that $1,000 to? I can't even. It boggles my mind to think about how much.
Well, judging from the criteria, it sounds like all of them.
That's a hell of a lot of people. Then,
Yep.
You're probably talking 99.9% of employees have got that bonus.
like you think just 100 people, and that's $100,000. They only have to do 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just see everybody walking through with fresh new sunglasses and wands.
But what it is,
Books.
it's $1,000 that has to be spent on Universal property.
Yeah. Oh, guys, sorry, I tell you, it's Universal Bucks.
Yeah.
It's the
X,
Wizarding
not
World. Yeah, the nuts
Not
and
accepted in
sickles.
99.9% of stores.
Yeah.
Only Shrek.
But no, it is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yep. Very, very cool. So let's go ahead and move on to a SPEW with Chris.
All right. So this week's SPEW is from Brittany Berger. Hi, guys. I have another SPEW for you. This one is a shout out to Bonnie and Guest Relations. When my friend bought her AP, there had been an error in the system and it accidentally deleted her. She didn't notice that her money had been refunded or that it wasn't charging her. She only noticed once she tried to enter the park.
Oh.
My friend was bummed at Guest Relations because at the moment she didn't have the money for the down payment. We were ready to leave for the evening when Bonnie gave my friend a complimentary ticket since she said the park was only open for 3 hours more anyway. It was the most amazing Guest Relations experience I've ever witnessed. Thank you, Bonnie, for an amazing few hours in the park.
That's cool.
Excellent.
That is again something they didn't have to do.
No.
But
Yeah. That's really nice.
I'm gonna start showing up to Disney 3 hours to close and see if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might
Give
try
myself
that
a
next
free
time
pass.
we're over.
Right? How come we're not going on to any of the parks until 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Trying to get him free. I wonder if that works for Horror Nights as well.
Ooh.
All right. Oh, there.
Show up at 7.
Yeah, it's the quietest. The last you've just turned up for the last 3 hours of Horror Nights, which means it'll be the quietest time, and you get him for out.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. All right, let's go on to some news about the Hogwarts Castle here in Orlando.
Okie dokie. So, yes, as we speculated before Christmas, Universal Orlando Resort have announced that guests will be able to celebrate their Hogwarts house pride during an all-new breathtaking experience, the nighttime lights at Hogwarts Castle. So this will debut on Wednesday, January even, the 31st, which is, week and a half
2
away?
weeks in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it will run select nights throughout 2018. They've said, as night falls in the wizarding world of Harry Potter, Hogsmeade, at Universal's Islands of Adventure, state-of-the-art projection mapping coupled with special effects and lighting will wrap Hogwarts Castle in a dazzling display celebrating the 4 houses of Hogwarts: Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, woohoo, Hufflepuff, and
Whoa.
Slytherin. Shut up, you. Guests will watch in awe as the spirit and iconic elements of each house are brought to life on the majestic castle, all set to incredible music based on the original scores from the Harry Potter films. Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Park guests will be able to preview the new experience on January the 27th and January the 28th during a celebration of Harry Potter 2018. The experience will run continuously each evening starting at dusk, and guests who have purchased put my teeth in today, a celebration of Harry Potter vacation package can be among the first to see this experience at Universal Orlando during an exclusive preview event on Friday, January the 26th. The nighttime lights at Hogwarts Castle is scheduled to run January the 31st through till February the 5th and February the 7th through till February the 12th. Additional dates will be announced at a later time on universalorlando.com.
Chris, as the only person on this show at this point that's actually seen this in person, how awesome is it?
It was awesome. It definitely was awesome. The only thing I can think of, when I see this is how they're going to handle the crowds, because they were bad during Christmas time, like really bad. It reminded me of when the Hogsmeade area opened for the first time and you couldn't even walk around in there. So, I mean, they managed the traffic in there as best they could. They had some, separations on where to walk, where to exit, where to come in from, but it was shoulder to shoulder, craziness. But I mean, it was worth it at the end because the show was an awesome show, and looking forward to seeing the things they do, on the castle now. Just again, how they're going to manage it, especially being a year-round thing now.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's the interesting thing to me because, as we know, around when summertime kicks in, that park closes at what 7-8 o'clock usually.
Yeah.
And it's still pretty bright out by that point, so
I think you'll probably find that we'll get something this year that we've been craving for a while, and I think you'll find Islands open later. I'm actually just going to have a look while we're talking to see what the...
see if they actually put anything up. Or...
Yeah, I heard somebody talking about it today, saying that they'd seen the hours were a bit later than what they normally are around a certain time of the year. It'd be quite interesting.
They're going to have to do that. I mean, because during the Christmas time, they were doing the show, every 15 minutes, I think it was?
Yeah.
And so you have like all these crowds kind of flowing in through there. And obviously we have the time change, so it gets darker earlier. But now if you're going to go and do it during summertime where, it gets darker much later, you can't just have one show there. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to have to be multiple shows.
But then we've talked about on the show before, with all the light packages that they've added to the rides in Islands now, you've got like the light package they put on the Hulk, the whole facade with Skull Island. It needs to be seen at that time of night. We've said it again. Hogsmeade, once the sun goes down, is absolutely stunning.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And I hope that this is the catalyst for them keeping that park open later. Do you know what? I cannot find the park hours on this website.
Hey, what a surprise. I can never find anything on that website.
Here we go. Theme park hours. Someone give me a random date at some point when it's normally closed early. Probably won't let me go that far ahead, but
I don't know. How about like May something?
See if
End of
let me
May.
go that far. Islands of Adventure on the weekends will be open till so the end of May, starting May the 19th. Islands of Adventure is open till 10 o'clock every night.
No.
Wow.
What time's it open?
9.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I have never... In fact, there's only... No, actually, it's the entire of May, apart from Friday the 4th, 11th, and 18th, where it shuts at 6. That seems weird.
Probably for an event, like corporate event.
Yeah. Yeah, it's open till 10 o'clock for the entire of May.
Entire of May. That's
So are they doing that through June, July? Does it show it continuing or?
June's dates aren't up.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. They need it. So, Yeah, so if you got the sun going down at 6, 7 something, then you've got a good 3 hours, 2.5 hours at least to show the show. So
Because Tracy, what's the latest we've been in Ireland's other than for when we were there for Horror Nights that first time? Like 7?
7.
I can't think.
Maybe
of,
half past with all the loitering.
Yeah. I don't think we've
Yeah, they
ever
had
been over to Ireland's when it's closed.
Yeah, it's always been
early.
an early
maybe
close.
maybe 8, but 7 seems to ring a bell.
Yeah.
they did the annual pass holder thing over there that Nina and I went to. But that was like, I think that closed at like 10 or 11. So
Wow.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad finally.
yeah. Well, hey, if that brought this, that's good. And obviously, if you're going to spend all that money and set everything up to do that projection thing, it's kind of crazy just to do it one time a year. So
Absolutely.
Well, we
I agree.
expected that, didn't we? When we talked about when they said they were putting it up, they weren't going to put all that effort in and just run it for Christmas.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then pretty soon you're going to be able to get your corporate logos put on there for your parties. And
Sponsored by UOP.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
J.K. Rowling.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see if they do anything as well with the new ride coming over there and dueling.
Ah.
Right,
Oh,
if they
yeah.
have some kind of structure, maybe even extend the lights over there to have a wider view. I don't know.
That would be interesting.
Maybe.
Yes.
It would be.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of queue there they could modify a little bit.
Yeah.
To offer some extra viewing space. So
Is the queue line for Dragon still there? Have they just pulled the ride down, or are they pulling everything down? Do we know?
no, the queue is still there as far as I know. From what I heard, everything is still there along the outside edge. They just took the track down. So
Okay.
I'm
mean
sure
it's
things
gonna
will
stay, though.
change. But yeah, there's a pretty wide berm, of like rock work and stuff like that between between Hogwarts, so they could kind of pull back, I think, a little bit and maybe not have that so big, just like maybe like a single divider wall.
Yeah.
And offer a lot more space for viewing and possibly even like elevate it a little bit to get over the crowd. It definitely needs it. They got to figure out something to widen that area
They do.
out because it's claustrophobic even on the best days. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
But it's doing what they want it to do at the end of the day, isn't it? And that's bring people over to Ireland and
Yep.
stay longer. Because, as we've said many times, Ireland's desperately needed something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It did.
That is true. I just wish it was something around the lagoon that you could see from more areas.
Yeah.
I think that makes more sense.
It does.
Just relocate the castle, middle of the lagoon.
Yeah, there you go.
Jobs are good.
Hogwarts, come on. If any place can do it, it's them, right?
Exactly.
And now they have a moat.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go on to it. Did you know with Mouse and Muggle?
Hey guys, this is Michelle
And Robin.
from Mouse and Muggle Travel Company with another great Did You Know tip. Hey Robin, did you know the best seat on Escape from Gringotts is the back row?
I did know this. But tell us all about it for those who don't know.
Robin and I love this ride and have ridden it many times, and we have discovered in our many trips that the back row is our favorite by far. So at least for thrill seekers, this is true. So spoiler alert, those who haven't ridden it, just want you to know we're about to kind of give something away. But the reason why the back seat is the best is because in the beginning of the ride, when it tilts the car down, basically like you're going to drop into oblivion, the back row is up the highest. So the drop is the longest drop when you're up that high. And for me, being a thrill seeker, I love it. It just makes that whole sequence feel so much more of a rush. So
and they hold you there for a second, so you kind of stay in that incline.
Yeah, and you're up pretty high when you're in the back row. So it really does give you, a little bit of a thrill when you're in that seat. Now, the downside to picking the back row is you might get stuck behind a really tall person in front of you, and the rest of the ride has a lot of screens. So if you're short like me and being stuck behind a tall person, it might kind of make the viewing of the screens and the 3D effects not as wonderful. But for me, I would rather have that thrill at the beginning because I really do like traditional roller coasters, and that's what that feels like in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I would prefer to have that thrill in the beginning as opposed to a better view of the screens. Do you agree?
I do. Love it, love it.
Yeah. But on the other end of the spectrum, for those that aren't thrill seekers, such as my daughter, she's 6, and she got brave enough and wanted to ride it this last trip. So with being with her and not wanting that thrill, I requested the front row because it's the total opposite. You know, in the front row, the drop isn't very big at all. It doesn't feel as scary when you're tilted and waiting there. And her being short and 6 years old, she did have a prime view for the rest of the screens and the rest of the ride. So, you know, it works both ways depending on what kind of experience you're looking for.
Yep, that's 2 tips in 1.
2 tips in 1. What? That's right. Yeah. So don't be afraid to request a seat in any ride, but particularly this one. It's really not a big deal. I know a lot of people shy away from that, but it's not a big deal. Just kind of, if you have a lot of people in your party, just kind of move to the side in one line and request a certain row, and they'll probably ask you to step aside and let other people go past you until that row is available. But they really don't mind. It's not a big deal. So either
Which is usually the next car that's coming through. So you usually only have to wait, you know,
a
couple
just
seconds.
Just be kind and step over to the side before they tell you to, so that they can keep the line moving pretty quickly, and they won't get upset with you. Everything will be fine, and you'll get to ride in either the front or the back, depending on what kind of thrill seeker you are. All right. Well, that does it for this week's Did You Know by The Mouse and the Muggle.
I only ride rides in the middle.
I was going to say, Darren, is your favourite seat in Gringotts not the test seat outside?
Yeah. I was gonna say, the ride is that part exactly where he does the tilting thing.
Yeah.
And they have a really long post show.
It's quite unique, I think, Gringotts, though, that it does have three different positions you can sit that would give you a very different experience on that ride. Like they said, the front one's there if you want it less of a thrill, but more
no fun. Like barely any fun, and then kind of fun. There you go. There's your 3 positions.
Chris, am I right in remembering that this is one of your favourite rides?
Yeah, I like this one.
Sorry.
I don't know, just it has a little combination of everything. You have a little, semi roller coaster in there. You got some good screens, good scenery.
I like it.
It's a good all.
Hey, I'm not here to tell anybody how to have fun.
It's a grower for me. I think it's got better every time I've ridden it, but it still doesn't stand up to.
Then can you keep riding it like a lot?
I'll try. Darren, trust me, if I was
Does
there,
that
I
work
would.
for everybody or just you?
I don't know. Try it. How many times have you ridden it at this point, Darren? Do you reckon?
No, I'm saying if I can have you ride it like 600 or 700 more times, will it get better for me?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, let's all get on that. Patreon/Lee Malaby. Let's get him over here.
I'll come off it all pumped, and you'll be like, "Hang on, I must be missing something here," and then you'll have to ride it again.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, let's continue to let the good times roll with some Mardi Gras concert lineups.
Here we go, Trace. This is see how many of these you've heard of.
Yeah.
I'm excited about these ones. I'm saying.
Yeah, so 2018's Mardi Gras celebrations at Universal Orlando are nearly here, and they have announced the majority of the acts performing at this year's event. February 3rd, Sean Paul. February 10th.
Sean DePaul.
More than diamonds, more than gold.
February 10th, we got the Beach Boys.
How many? I know I've heard this on Universal After Dark. How many of those Beach Boys, the original ones, are still alive? Any of them?
Yes.
It's
Well, I
just the
think
Beach
it's
Boy.
Yeah, I think it's just one guy and then a new
There's
band.
one guy left.
Right.
February 17th, Kelsey Ballerini.
Who?
Kelsey Ballerini.
February 18th.
Who?
Exactly.
Popular.
Country and Western, I do believe.
Ah.
Or just country.
No idea. February 18th, Andy Grammer.
There you go.
Who?
February
He's got a
20th.
song. He's got a song. If you heard it, you know it. One of those ones.
I don't
Give
listen to
me
the
it,
radio,
okay,
so
yeah.
I'm doubtful.
But I'll check it out. February 24th, Macklemore.
Yeah.
See, everyone
It's a
keeps
big one.
raving about it. I've never heard of him.
You've never heard of
He's pretty big.
Off some
Macklemore?
bags.
Couldn't name anything.
Nope.
The thrift shop song?
Nope.
Oh, man.
What type of music are we talking?
Hip hop.
Like hip hop pop.
Okay.
March 3rd, 311.
Yeah.
See, I
Looking forward
think
to
311, I'm sure one of the tracks that was on Guitar Hero World Tour that we really liked was 311, but I might be getting that wrong.
Yeah, down probably. I'm guessing.
It.
Yeah, security's going to be working overtime at Universal that day. I'll just say that.
Oh, yeah. March 4th, Philip Phillips.
He's on every
And the
year.
Philippersons.
Oh, it was Beautiful Disaster.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Philip Phillips.
Oh, yeah, he's on every year.
I know, but
Philharmonic Orchestra.
does his parents not have any sort of imagination?
Or did they have all the imagination?
Yeah, maybe.
And March 10th, this is one of everybody's favorites. It's to be announced.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Big fan.
I am, yeah.
All of those.
I've got all his albums.
You know, they played with the Rolling Stones once.
Yeah, I heard. March 11th, Fitz and the Tantrums.
Nope.
I don't know. That's what's funny.
Anybody?
March 17th. No, I
Popular with toddlers, though.
there's
Oh,
March 17th, Foreigner.
okay.
Pretty
Oh,
big name.
Then Jackie Chan.
I'm surprised Trump's letting them play.
Be careful.
Oh.
Cut that one out.
I will cut that one out.
I like that.
Sorry.
I'm hosting. Leave it in.
Okay, I'll leave it in.
March 18th, we have Fifth Harmony.
They were on last
March
year, I
8th.
think, as well.
All right.
For the tragic passing of Fourth Harmony. This one sticks around.
The returning is to be announced. And
Yeah.
March 25th, we have Bush.
Yeah.
I like Bush. Specific song. But when Tracy and I first...
Stop!
No,
Enough!
because it's all right, because people can interpret this however they want, right? But one of the songs that was out and about when Tracy and I first got together was a Bush song, and it was entitled Swallowed, and it just became our song. Interpret that however you want.
Romantic.
Yeah, it was all your bull. That's what it was.
Don't swear. That's the only Bush song I know, mind.
That's not a swear word anymore.
What, bull?
The President of the United States says it.
No, fair enough.
Come on.
Oh, sorry, I thought.
Same thing.
Yeah. Says a lot of things. Everything's on the table now.
So, as the two people who've heard
Yeah.
heard of most of these, Darren and Chris, are you excited?
I am.
I'm pretty excited. Yeah. Like, there's a few names in here I like. I'd go to see.
I think for
put it
you
this
to
way.
say you're excited, Darren, is quite a biggie because you.
I was going to say, yeah, as I'm more excited than I have been in other years.
Yeah, because you're normally like, there's nothing there that I'm really particularly bothered about.
Yeah, but it's crazy to see a Bush show. Do they even like play anymore? Is this like a weird reunion show for them or
I
something?
don't know.
I think they're still.
President of
haven't heard
Comcast
that.
like took them out of a cell somewhere and he's like, "Come on out, it's time to play. Get back in there. You're out for 30 minutes and you're back in."
I think the thing is, after Fallout Boy, they learned that they couldn't get anybody that big because it would just be crazy. So they're still trying to go for that level that are going to interest people, but not go mental.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, 311 will be an interesting one too. I saw them. I think I've seen them like 2 or 3 times in concert. So
Cool.
it's definitely a good high energy concert, and they have enough hits to do a 40 minute set like they do there.
Yeah.
Pretty easily, and then keep it lively. So
We need to get over for Mardi Gras at some point. I
Oh,
really
really?
want to.
What a great idea!
I know I wasn't bothered before, but having watched Kenneth's videos on our YouTube channel from last year, it actually looked really cool.
So basically, somebody else's videos and not your nagging wife is what
No,
gets
'cause
you to want to go. I
Well.
see. Yes, I'd shut up too. So, yeah.
So I thought of as funny is it's going to be like the high energy Mardi Gras concert. You're going to have Feet Don't Fail Me Now playing like crazy. It's going to go nuts. And then you're going to go see Bush afterwards. And that is just a real energy change. Because, Bush is pretty low key, pretty chill. They're not really the Mardi Gras party band when I think of. Yeah, I'm still waiting for them to get Galactic because once they get Galactic, then that means they've done Mardi Gras right, because they're like the quintessential like Mardi Gras style jam band.
Okay.
And I'm surprised I haven't seen them there yet. So
I've not heard
One
of
day.
them either.
no, they're pretty good. They're not from the radio or anything.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So you might actually see me out at the parks a couple of times.
Woo!
This year.
Good.
That'll be a couple more than last year.
Hey you, that's right, you. Doesn't listening to the crew at UUOP every week make you wish that you were actually at Universal Orlando Resort? Well, stop wishing and start doing. Mouse and Muggle Travel Company is the perfect place to begin. Their team of concierge-level travel planners will help you every step of the way. From finding the right fit for your family and budget to customized itineraries and insider tips. They can handle it all. Even if a hiccup that is up to no good arises during your trip, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company will manage the mischief for you. And for you muggles who also love the mouse, their team of experts specialize in Disney destinations too. And the best part of all, their services are free to you. So, if you're ready to plan your next Disney or Universal vacation, let Mouse and Muggle Travel Company do all the work for you. Just go to mouseandmuggle.com and fill out a no-obligation quote request. Or send an email to info@mouseandmuggle.com. It's that simple. So what are you waiting for? Just raise your wand and repeat after me. Accio, phone. Didn't work? Muggles. Here, try some pixie dust instead. And remember, whether you're a mouse or a muggle, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company can help make your next vacation simply magical.
All right. Well, let's move on to some little things with Seth.
Hi, this is Seth Kabursky from the Unofficial Guides, and I hope you had a restful holiday season because we've got a huge new edition of all the little things to kick off the new year. Let's start off in Universal Studios Florida, where the big little piece of news is that the Fast and Furious custom shop has opened at the exit of what will be the new Fast and Furious attraction. The gift shop features an array of shirts and other merchandise related to the new ride, and it has a vehicle used in the films for you to take selfies with. The most interesting piece of new merchandise is a customizable car, which is the automotive equivalent of a Build-A-Bear. At the front of Universal Studios Florida, the digital tip board, which displays wait times, was out of commission for quite a while and has now been replaced with an upgraded digital screen that looks much better, especially in sunlight. The facial recognition system that's been tested in the express queues over at Islands of Adventure at Spider-Man, Cat in the Hat, and Seuss Trolley is now also being tested in Men in Black. And the Williams of Hollywood prop shop recently offered a life-size statue of Thor from the Marvel films for the low, low price of $3,000. I apologize if you're eager to purchase it, but unfortunately it's already been sold.
By Thomas Fillinet.
Hopping over to Islands of Adventure, Jurassic Park River Adventure now has a clearly marked single rider line that is open most of the time. That should save you a few minutes next time you want to come face-to-face with a T-Rex. In Seuss Landing, the Honk Honkers candy shop, where the popular customized cotton candy are being sold, now also offers a specially branded line of hard candies with the Honk Honkers name on it. A note for those of you who like to try to save a little money with the universal dining plans, costs for the standard quick service plan have gone up by $1. The adult plan is now $24, and the kids plan is $16 plus tax. And finally, it might be a little chilly out to think about going swimming, but Volcano Bay has recently tested on-slide photos for the Krakatoa Aqua Coaster and the Ono Drop Slide. This is Seth Kabursky from the Unofficial Guides and Touring Plans, Orlando Weekly, Attractions Magazine, and I'll see you again soon with more little things that are new around the Universal Orlando Resort.
Hey, this is Dom from Fast and Furious. I just want to let everybody know it's not like Build-A-Bear.
Really cool, macho. It's a really cool thing to build your own car. I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about. So it goes to Fast and Furious things.
There was someone commented on the link to a blog post that Chris Murray did a photo update from there. I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Ian Kaufman, and he said he was in there with his wife, and his wife was going through saying, what do you think of the clothes and stuff? Would you wear any of it? It was like, no. And she was like, why not? Because it's nice stuff. He said, because it's got Fast and Furious on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That shop is so weird. The merchandise in there is just all over the place.
And a wrench. Do you want a Fast and Furious wrench? Because they got it.
I know. It's a wrench bottle opener, right?
Oh, is it?
Oh,
they
is
really
it a
do.
bottle opener?
Oh, well, that's
It's a
quite
wrench.
cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I wonder how much of that merch they'll actually sell.
It's not, from what I've seen, it's not something I'd be looking to buy.
But are you a massive Fast and Furious fan? No, you've only seen 2 of them.
Well, apparently I've seen 2. I only remember 1.
From what I heard, they
Are
don't
they
even really
massive?
fill the whole shop, right? It's like there's repeats in the shop.
Oh, I have heard that,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Now, going back into Zeus Landing, I had a little giggle there. I cannot hear honk honkers without thinking of Ace
The
Ventura,
obvious.
Pet Detective, the second one, when the guy's he's got the slides up and he comes in, doing his the shadow things on the,
Shadow
and he goes, he does a bit where he tweaks his nipple. He goes, honk 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 honk. Hey ho, silver away. That's all I can think of whenever I hear honk honkers now.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. So it is interesting.
What is honk honkers, by the way, Tracy? You're the Dr. Zeus fan. I'm assuming it is a book or a story in a book.
It's within a story. Do you know? I don't actually know. I probably do, but you put me on the spot. I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember.
I think we just found out Universal Creative pulled that off as a real good joke.
Yeah.
After watching Ace Ventura.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Honk honkers, it's just terrible, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
kind of somewhere in the recess of my mind. No, I don't want to know it's a candy store. I know
Microphone.
that.
Do you hear if you're talking?
Oh, I'm kind of talking. Shut up! I'm talking to myself.
I know that.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's interesting going back on the facial recognition thing. It looks like they're obviously going to roll it out entirely.
Mhm.
I don't really necessarily understand why.
Is it like, I don't know, do you think it's that big of a problem otherwise? I mean,
Exactly.
is this like a big security breach that they have that like people, I don't understand.
A lot
What's
of
it
tech.
gonna-
Well, you think
Yeah.
back, Darren, to, God, it must be 3 or 4 years ago at this point, maybe even longer, when we discussed the whole putting your pictures on these hotel passes because people were passing them off to friends. So if you had friends in the park that weren't staying at a hotel and you could use them, then pass them to them, and then they could use them because there was no way of. And that's why they added your picture
Right.
onto the pass in the first place.
Yeah. And I understand that part.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But then to move on from this, and if I'm not mistaken, Busch Gardens did this as well with our we had multi-night pass for Busch Gardens, and that's the way it was. It was just like a regular paper pass, and then they took a picture of us like with the same scanner they used to scan the to scan the ticket.
Right.
They like hold it up and take a picture of your face with that same scanner. And then I guess every time they scan your ticket from then on out, that picture shows up on the scanner and shows who you are. So that, I mean, that's not really facial recognition, but it's associating your picture without having to do a bunch of weird things and go into a kiosk and doing all that.
Yeah.
But with like the actual facial recognition, I mean, how is that any
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
like what is it benefiting more? How is it more secure than just having your photo on the pass because your team members are going to look at that, and see that. So,
And like
Yeah,
Chris,
it's
you were
kind of
about
odd.
to say there, the tech that's going to go into it, obviously it's not cheap.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, they're spending all this money on tech to do that, yet I still have to reset my thumbprint every single time I go into the park.
Yeah, and those
No,
and the
doesn't
lockers
make
don't
sense.
work properly either.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I see you're already on your thumbs as well. They had to do that as well for me. It's like,
Yes.
oh, your regular fingerprints aren't working. Let's try your thumb. So now mine's on my left thumbprint. So I have to like reach over on the other side when I go through. It's like as awkward as it could be. It's
And
like
I remember when they opened up, when we were going to Volcano Bay, and we were going to Volcano Bay and then the park a little later, their systems weren't even synced up. So you had to reset every single time when you went from one to the other. And they even told you, like, that's how the system is right now.
Oh boy.
This is great. Yeah.
Yes, Tracy.
Right.
Go on.
I was just going, Honkers, I've got to the bottom of it.
Well, go on then.
It's not a book I was aware of. It's from Happy Birthday to You by Dr. Zeus.
I've heard of it. Do we not own that one?
No.
I'll send you a picture of the cover of that for your birthday on Facebook.
Although I did find Honk If You Like Honkers.
Oh, yes, I like that one.
Is not Dr. Zeus.
All right.
That's
But what I found was, in Catrue every year on the day you were born, they start the day right at the bright early morn, when the birthday honker hikes high Mount Zorn and lets loose a big blast on the big birthday horn. And the voice of the horn calls out loud as it plays, "Wake up, for today is your day of all days. Happy birthday to you."
Okay.
So there you
That's
go.
got to be annoying. He's up there like every day.
And I bet that's
Blast
why they have
the
birthday
entire
cake
world.
flavoured cotton candy.
Possibly. That would make sense.
Yes.
Or maybe you're just thinking about it way more than they did.
Possibly, yeah. But
We're gonna
you
see,
can
like-
take that and use that if that's not true.
I was going to say the next news show is going to be like, oh, you're going to be able to customize it for birthdays. So.
Yeah.
I expect
pretty good.
freebies for this.
I doubt it.
Indeed. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the rumor mill with Alicia.
Hi, this is Alicia Stella with news from the rumor mill. I'm hearing that some team members will be getting a chance to ride Fast and Furious Supercharged very soon, even ahead of regular team member previews. So very soon we might be getting our first unofficial reviews from anyone willing to risk their jobs and talk about it on social media. Most everyone I talked to is not very excited for this ride, especially given its lukewarm reception over at the Hollywood Tram Tour. From what I've heard, our version will not be much different. Unlike Kong, where they added a couple scenes before the 360 room, don't expect much out of this to be added. We are getting a pre-show before boarding the party bus. Then the ride will probably be just like Hollywood's, with the Musion scenes to introduce the characters and the plot, followed by the 360 sequence, which will be somewhat redone. They'll be adding in the Golden Gate Bridge and maybe changing some street signs so this attraction makes sense in the San Francisco section of Universal. I have heard that there will be something physical after the 360 bit, sort of like how Kong has the animatronic bye-bye part at the end. Rumors are there will be like a simulated explosion with cars flying at you attached to Kuka arms to create the effect. Who knows if that's true or not and whether it's enough to make the attraction stand out or just another screen ride. I have heard that they dropped the 3D from it though. Not sure if that's true or just a bad rumor, but 3D or not, it's still a screen ride at a resort with far too many screen rides, and dropping the glasses is not going to fix that. I'm hoping soft openings start as early as February, because the sooner this thing opens, the sooner Universal can start closing other attractions to make way for newer and more interesting projects that don't have screens. We're still waiting to see some movement in Kid Zone, the future home of Super Nintendo World, Phase 1. Rumors are that the land might not be closing until the summer, and some people even believe not until the fall. So in other words, no one knows when it's closing. Whenever it happens, I expect the play areas to close first, including Curious George Goes to Town, Fievel's Playland, and Woody Woodpecker's Nuthouse Coaster, since it's also on that side. An area near E.T. Adventures Outside Queue will be used as a staging area for construction, so those attractions need to close first before they can really get started. Once those attractions are closed and construction starts on that side, I expect a day in the park with Barney to close, and then Animal Actors on Location will close very last. The new land will feature rides for Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, and Yoshi. Check out the recent Rumor Mill article on the UUOP site for more details. And since this is my first Rumor Mill segment, real quick I'm going to run through some of the other rumors I've heard for the studios. Shrek 4D is not long for this world. One day, someday, it will close, and the entire building will likely be demolished for a new trackless dark ride based on The Secret Life of Pets. It's possible Shrek will get a new ride in one of the new parks that they're building south of the property. And of course, we're all waiting for Fear Factor Live to go away, and hopefully become the long-rumored Ministry of Magic ride. First, I thought they would be jumping on this since Bill and Ted ended last year, but I guess it makes sense to wait and spread out the new Potter ride openings. This way, Potterheads will visit next year for the Forbidden Forest coaster over at Islands and still have another reason to visit in a couple years later when the Ministry opens. That's all I've got for now. Next time I'll cover some of the rumors for Islands, but until then, check out the monthly Rumor Mill articles at uupodcast.com. See you next time.
All I hear when I hear Alicia's voice is, it's not what you think. I hear more Sarah Connor at this point, but still laser designated.
That's exactly what I knew you were going to say.
Indeed.
I've heard very strongly from people I tend to trust that Shrek is going to be the next one that will go away.
Yeah, I really hope they
That one
don't
just
go
has
with
to go.
Secret Life of Pets. Aside from the Louis C.K. conflict, the movie is just soulless, and I don't see how you can have a attraction, that is worth anything based on a movie that's like that.
Yeah, we still haven't even seen it.
No.
No, and if you have seen it, what are the characters' names? You don't know. Like
Dog.
no one knows the
Gidget.
characters' names.
Cat.
Spot.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know
Fido.
Gidget. I know Gidget, that's it. That's because I've learned it with Cora.
Yeah, as generic as you can get. Just much like it's just, to me, it's just very bland. It's the characters aren't memorable. They're not something you want to see. I don't see people walking around with the merch or anything like that.
Yeah.
It would just be a weird thing for them to put in when they have stuff that people love so much that they could use there. As far as DreamWorks properties, Kung Fu Panda could get some good mileage out of that. You could get some good mileage out of How to Train Your Dragon.
Absolutely.
Definitely. We're always talking about that. So I think that deserves a ride like the one over in A Flight of Passage, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say I'd love to see something How to Train Your Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
But I said to you before we started recording, Darren, I had a conversation with Alicia that I heard Chris Ripley on Universal After Dark talking that the rumour he's heard for that is for it to become something based on the Minions movie, themed around the Villain Con, which makes a lot of sense because in the movie, Villain Con is in Orlando.
Yeah.
Whether or not it will be, it just makes that entrance area very Minion heavy, which will please Andy, I know that much.
Yeah, he'll love that.
I don't know what they would do with it.
I don't know. Yeah, see, that's the thing too. Is it's just like you said, it's Minion heavy. It's two Despicable Me attractions right there in the front of the park. I don't know. I don't know how that would work without putting like an overall. Maybe in that case, if they do that, then they theme the street in between to Super Silly Funland kind of thing. Just like a feeling as you come in, which would make it feel like more theme parky when you walked in, but that will kill the studio vibe for sure if they are just trying to end that once and for all.
That's true. But then would they ever consider
Challenge Dr. Zeus, could they? Would
re-theming Rip Ride Rocket to the coaster from Super Silly Funland?
That looks like a terrifying coaster.
It would. You think that because that coaster in that
then.
Super Silly Funland is it's like that first drop's about 300 million feet high and it's like 100 degrees.
Fitting. Hey, that could be a VR coaster for them.
Oh yeah, that could work. I have heard rumors of VR stuff. It's Jim last week said that he knew when was it Kraken VR opened at SeaWorld, that he said that Universal and Disney both sent people down there to have a look at it. That could potentially be, because it's not going to hurt the throughput of that ride because it's terrible anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we might have stumbled on something there.
Could improve the queue line.
Yeah.
Asta.
Yeah, I think any overlay on that ride will be accepted.
Yeah.
They'll have a minion in the thing going Asta.
Yeah.
Every 3 seconds.
It'll be like ba. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean that does make sense now that you say that.
Yeah, that could be
that
good.
makes too much sense.
Yeah, I just hope they put some physical ride in there and not just another screen.
Yeah.
Even if it's a kid's ride, like the Seuss Cat in the Hat ride.
Yeah. Oh,
Something like that. Just bring some physical effects.
Absolutely agree.
And it'll appease the children. I think anything is better than what's in Shrek right now. So I think it'll be a good, positive ride for them.
It's quite a big show building that as well.
Yeah, and I like those trackless dark rides. I did the one at SeaWorld the Penguin one, and that's not like the most impressive of rides, but the technology is cool. And watching it, watching the vehicles all spin around cohesively in the same room and everything, and seeing Mystic Manor, I think it's over in Shanghai.
Yep.
That Disney does over there too.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. So, if they could come up with something, along those lines for any of these properties that they have, then that'd be a lot better than what they have now for sure.
The interesting thing looking at all this stuff, if Shrek, obviously it is going to go at some point, and Darren, you'll be able to speak better to this than me, but if that goes, and then I'm not sure how Fast and Furious is going to work this year, but that's 2 Halloween Horror Nights locations we've lost at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's not going to be a available queue space at all for anything with Fast and the Furious when that comes up. So,
Chris, you've been in that shop. Isn't that where the queue, like the Horror Nights house normally is, where that shop is now, or am I getting that wrong?
That's where not this year, right? I mean, it was.
I mean, normally, yeah, when they do.
Yeah, it used to be one of the queues in there, and where Earthquake was at.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where the shop is now, though? The store, yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, so that, and then with Shrek on, then this is where you might see them migrate over to a 2-park thing again, or at least use more of those sound stages in the back lot.
Yep.
On the other side, on the island side, maybe block out a bit of the park for it at least.
Where did they do houses last year, Darren, that they didn't normally do? Because obviously they didn't have the disaster queue. Was there any?
Well, they had the new pop up
behind Men in Black.
Yeah. So that was the new one. They used all the sound stages.
Where was the one, the Ash House that you went through the ET queue to get to? Was that
that was just Parade Building?
All right, so it's just a different way into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I think do they have any more sound stages back there they could use?
That's what I'm thinking of right now. They got Blue Man Group in the one that just fills up that entire soundstage. And then you've got the Dave School in another soundstage. So I think those are the only ones that they aren't using are occupied by those. So for the most part, yeah.
The park's going to eventually have to be its fate.
It's going to be a very odd year this year. It's either going to be a very much a transitional one, or we're going to see an event this year that we've never seen before.
It's just all VR. The sound stages are just a bunch of chairs, and you just sit down and you put a VR helmet on, and that's how you experience the whole night.
People just in your ear.
Exactly. And they just pump alcohol straight in through your eyeballs.
It would be interesting to see, Chris.
They brought back alcohol?
Chris, did you go in 2004? I'm sure we talked about it. You did, didn't you?
I did.
Yes.
I did. Yeah, I think 2003 was the first year I went. But I don't remember a lot from it.
Oh, me either. It'll be interesting to see if they do throw it over both parks again then.
See, I loved the 2-park thing just because you were able to go to both parks. The thing I didn't like when they had both parks is it felt really dispersed, right? Now we're talking about a completely different Horror Nights with a completely different budget at that time. But, when you go to Universal now and you go to Horror Nights, it's very, you have your scare zones. It's all, set up for Horror Nights. Whereas before, when it was 2 parks, you can just walk through certain parts of the area and it just looked like the park was almost off.
Yes.
There was nothing there. So if they're able to do 2 parks and still have you, feel like you are in a Horror Nights environment the entire time you're there, then I'm all for it. I mean, do it. It'd be awesome. And they would connect. I remember they connected both parks with the Field of Screams.
There was 2 areas, wasn't there?
Yeah,
I've got the park map upstairs somewhere. I can never remember where the second one was. Yeah, because the Field of Screams was behind the double doors, behind all the stories you'll hear, where that stage is in Zeus Landing. And that brings you out kind of, it doesn't, I assume that brought you in down the side of Rip Ride Rocket where the secret entrance is.
So what was the other end? Because the other entrance
where Castle Vampire was.
Yeah, down near the old Ghostbusters thing. And I don't know where that came out.
I can't remember.
That was the one with the big long walk. with the big berms.
Yeah,
one
there was a
side.
guy in like a tank or something because
Yeah.
he had to go at me for not being anywhere for walking like 3 feet ahead of you.
That was my fault 'cause I was
Like-
dragging behind.
They go into like Lost Continent or something like that.
Yeah, kind of.
It seemed like that's kind
That
of the
rings
area
a
that
bell,
it would
yeah.
fit.
Yeah, it was. But I can't. It's weird because that was the first time we'd ever been over to Orlando. So
We didn't know
you
it
know
that
what it's
well,
like
did
the
we?
first time you go somewhere, a park or
Oh,
anywhere
yeah.
it doesn't seem it like when you get to know it, it seems entirely different from. So I can't picture what the park was at that point and try and figure it out in my head.
I
Yeah.
wonder if it was down the side of Sinbad or something like that, because that would make sense. Because there'd be a lot of backlot behind that with it being a show.
I
And that
honestly
would
can't
kind
remember.
of make sense.
It was a
very
long time ago. It was 13 years ago, nearly 14 years ago.
Wow. I must have been a very small child when I went.
But yes, it will be
Stop
very
laughing.
interesting to see. I'm not laughing.
Yeah, I know you're not.
Because
I'm
I
not
was
that young
very,
telling off.
yeah. It will be very interesting to see what this year brings. I know there's some rumours flying around the houses so far. Stranger Things is doing the rounds. It's doing the rounds.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street seems to be doing the rounds. I've heard that from a couple of people. Halloween seems to be a big one based on
Yeah.
the new one. Other than that,
Yeah.
apparently there was a leaked list came out a few weeks back that apparently is absolute crap.
Yep. We will see. It's a little early for that
Oh
stuff.
god, yeah.
But I don't know. It wasn't too long after this that the time last year that a rumor list came out that was pretty close to
Yeah.
accurate.
True.
So seems to happen a
They'll
lot.
probably
So.
leak it themselves to gauge reaction. That's what I wouldn't be surprised.
That wouldn't surprise me actually.
No. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this show here. I don't have anything else.
No.
No,
The news well has run dry. So, all right. Well, until next time, my name is Darren, and this has been the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. And you can collect your $1,000 bonus by leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes. Thanks.
Just so you know, you won't get $1,000 if you leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Just to clarify that.
Pretty sure you might.
Darren's paying.
Cut. Print. That's a wrap for another episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Never miss a show by subscribing on Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and review while you're there. Not an Apple user? You can listen on Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, or your podcatcher of choice. Email us any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. Keep up with the latest news, rumors, and updates on our blog at uuopodcast.com. Thanks for listening. See you next week.